Welcome to part 2 of Romans 12, and we're going to look today at verse 2. Again, another well known for some people in the Christian circles, but not necessarily for everybody. But I do love this whole section, and this particular verse is one that always challenges me. I'm going to read it to you again. It says, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." So it says there, don't conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I just think that the whole point about this is that the world wants to control us in so many different ways. We can be, without really realizing it, influenced by the patterns of this world, whether it be through advertising, which sometimes is information, but often is just marketing, by news editing. Which channels do we watch the news on, and which things do they think are important? They may not be what God thinks is important. We're barraged these days with fake news and distortions of images and all sorts of things. And then there are things like peer pressure, where the people who are really off on tangents from where they should be influence how we do things because we like to be part of the crowd quite often. It's very easy to do that. So this says, do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. There's something about our mind that can be changed, and it helps to discern God's will on this to go about our daily lives. And so when we talk about our will compared to God's will, well, willpower, often people say, well, I just need more willpower and I'll be able to do things. But that's a very self-centered thing. We need to release our will to God's will, and then we can be transformed. And I know when, many moons ago now, 35 years ago, I came to faith, it was suddenly like I started to see the world differently. Instead of reacting to people in really negative ways sometimes and making a lot of prejudgments, which is still really easy to do, there's a sense in which you start to look at people with a loving eye and not the opposite. I can remember situations where I'm with people or with crowds of people where I'd be looking at them and thinking, yeah, I want to care for them. If they are messed up, then can I help in any way? Can I be a support? Can I be a pastor? God somehow can do things like that to make us look differently if we're trying to follow his will. After all, prayer helps this. He taught us, and we've done a section on prayer already, he taught us the Lord's Prayer, where it actually says, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. We want his will, not our will. Our willpower is not great, but his will is what we should seek. So I leave you with that thought today. Cheers, see you tomorrow.